All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Livewire Sports Media, and today I'm just going to dive into. Actually, I'm going to dive into the Iowa Hawkeye Girls Media Day. Now, which day Media Day is pretty much kicked off because the season is about to kick off in a couple of weeks, and we want to take a look inside of it all. And the thing about it is, what I want to do is look at so much is I want to look at not so much of the players, but I want to look into how their mindset is coming into the season, knowing that you got USC, you got UCLA. This is Laura Betts last year. Juju Watkins is going to be out. This is an opportunity for the Iowa girls to really make a stamp and be that team this year before Juju come back next year. And then with Laura Betts leaving, the Iowa Hawkeye girls could be in a great position, especially with McKenna Willisco is coming in, and hopefully they could get Addie Bajoran to come join that crew. But you got Addie Deal, Chit Chat, and all the others, and some of the you still got Hannah Stuelke this year. So look at it to play for the national championship is on these teams' mind. So we're gonna dive into Jensen first, with her media outlet.
I'm so thankful to our fan base. Boy, have they just been with us every step of the way since our staff got here all those years ago. And in my shifting over to the other chair, for us to sell out 3 years in a row is, I just really can't thank our fan base enough. And it just really is a wonderful part of who we are, who this program is. So big shout out to our fans. And I think looking at this year, it's probably one of the most interesting years we've had in a long, long time. We're the youngest we've been since 2012. I think there are some other young teams in the Big Ten. We are 9 out of 14 players are freshmen and sophomores.
That for them to be a very young team and having 9 of them being freshmen and sophomores, that shows that this team is going to have the depth that they need behind them players. If they don't transfer out nowhere and they stay all those years at Iowa and have more incoming players, Iowa women's basketball could be one of the most talked about women's basketball franchises in sports. And I'm saying this because what Jensen is building right behind Lisa Bluter, the Megan Augustas, and the Caitlin Clark years, and the Kate Martins and all them, and now you're going to have Hannah Stuelke leaving. It's going to be phenomenal. This school is going to set themselves. I think Iowa has set themselves up to be up there in the recruiting ranks because of what they're going to be able to do. How Caitlin Clark was able to put them on the map, how they was able to do stuff like that. So look for them to be really in the mix in recruiting years to get them top 4-star, 5-star athletes over there, because you got to think about it. Not everybody can go to UConn. Not everybody go to South Carolina. Not everybody could go to LSU. No, not everybody could go to USC. So because you think about it, after Juju, who's going to be there to be that big name for USC? Same thing with UCLA, even though Laura Betts' sister's going to be there, but you got to see what she's going to be able to bring to the table.
Sophomores, but everybody on our team has a new role. And it's complex in the sense when you look at our team, like we have Hannah, we have Kylie, and we have Taylor McCabe that are going to, play minutes. But Hannah has never yet in her 4 years been the sole focus. She's always had a pretty good Robin, right? In the couple of years ago when she was playing with Kate and Caitlin and all those, that set of people. And then last year we had the great Lucy Olson. Now we have a whole lot of great youth, but the one known commodity is Hannah Stuelke. So it'll be really interesting to watch. I know she'll step up to that challenge, but it's new. It'll be new for Kylie. Kylie is, that vet 6-year senior that has seen it all right? She's transferred. She's unfortunately had some adversity with an injury. She's sat, she's played. So that's so valuable with the team that's young, because we have a lot of great youth that are coming in with high expectations. But at the end of the day, those freshmen are still freshmen, no matter how highly decorated they are. And the portal transfers are great, but everybody's still learning a new system. So when I've thought about this, it's so exciting. And it's so fun because we have a lot of different ways we can go. But I think the word, and I think I'm talking to myself here more than anybody else, is patience. I think we're planting a lot of seeds for this year, and we're going to be using a lot of water with that patience. And I think it's not only this year, but in everything that will come after this year. So I think,
and that was my key point. What I just illustrated, that what Iowa is doing right now is setting the stone for everybody to come and be a part of Iowa basketball. They're gonna be wanting to come to Iowa. They're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I got to play with a Megan Gustin. I wish I got to play with a Caitlin Clark, a Kay Martin, or a Hannah Stokely, and all of the others that's there. Now you got a lot of names coming out of Iowa, and you got a lot of names coming into Iowa. And Jensen just illustrated the perfect thing. Is setting the foundation early.
when I look at our schedule, we have a really competitive non-con schedule. And I think, my goal is, as we morph into all these different roles, is to use that non-conference as a training. We always do, but I think you're going to see a lot in that non-conference. And my goal is, by the time we hit that Big Ten season, that we're going to look a lot different then than I think we're going to look on October 30th. But the possibilities are so exciting. It's just it's a really new year, and I know that the patience and the energy it takes to form a team, the team forming is always exciting, but it also takes a lot of energy, and I love the energy that my squad has. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. Yeah.
David Eichel.
Sorry.
David Eichel, HawkeyeInsider.com. Jan, I know there's always been a lot of talent in the Midwest, Iowa, all Iowa Tech, Minnesota, but you have a girl now from Dominican Republic, you have somebody from Alaska, Oregon, California, you have somebody coming in from California next year. I know you can't talk about her, but how have you been able over the last few years to still kind of focus on keeping the in-state talent, but really take the recruiting coast to coast, and how have you kind of kept the culture the way that you want it to be?
Yeah, I think it's been just an interesting time frame for us. Because the timing of how the Big Ten was expanding was in line with the Caitlin Clark era. So the Big Ten's expanding different places, and Caitlin is moving a needle. And all of a sudden, Iowa's on a lot of TVs. We're in a lot of news stories. And then the story wasn't just Caitlin. It became a little bit more about the others on the team. And then I think it really shined a light on what I'd like to think we've been doing here for a long, long time, which is playing in a really fun style of basketball with quality young women. And we've always started with that. And then if there was ever a time when, with the commitment of Addie Deal and others, if there was ever a time to keep broadening that, I thought it was the time to go for it with a more national angle. But I've learned some things over that. Like you can't just go all national, right? There's got to be some connections and some shared value sets on how a young woman wants to play, or what she's most comfortable playing. If she has any interest in the Midwest or not. So sometimes we've chased a little bit too long, probably a lead that wasn't really ever going to be one, or be a Hawk. But I think we've learned, some of the best practices and not such good practices. But I think the timing was right to go for it, and we've hit it on some really quality people. But I'll never. Our core will always be the Midwest, and certainly our state.
That's a pretty good thing right there, what she just said, because the fact of the matter is that they want to tack into they want to tack their home state, but at the same time they want to broaden nationally because some talent that is nationally could be very potential to help this young squad. And like they haven't had a 5-star since Caitlin Clark, and that's where Addie Deal come in at. That is where you look at McKenna Willisco that's coming in next year, and hopefully they can land another 5-star in Addison. So that just show, and then a lot of players gonna want to transfer to Iowa as well. And the key thing is how she say that Caitlin Clark pretty much put Iowa on the map and made Iowa a national attention. And now everybody's starting to see Iowa and say, oh, I want to go to Iowa. You know what I'm saying? And they allow them to play the style of basketball that they're comfortable with. They don't try to change them other like WNBA coaches does. But they allow to change, fit them into the system that's going to be fun and style. This team is going to be very fun to watch once they start clicking. So let's go to some of the players' media stuff real quick, and then
Experience is kind of about right
Yes. No, I'm loving that. Thank you.
Is there a challenge, or does that come naturally to you, either meeting with the fans or taking pictures or even talking to the media? Is that something you enjoy, or is that taking some work on your part?
Honestly, it's something I enjoy. I like talking, so okay. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, Jan talked a lot about building relationships off the court with the players. How have you done that so far? I know you've only been on campus for 3 months.
Yeah, no, just hi. Just talking to everyone every day. We see each other during practice, but making the time outside of practice too. Getting coffee with coaches, eating dinner with my teammates. We build a connection on and off the court.
Yeah, is that kind of part of what drew you here to come to Iowa?
Yeah, the culture was the main thing I would say that drew me to Iowa. The culture, the style of play, and just the fan base was really huge.
Yeah, and I know classes kind of starting. Does it kind of feel like home now?
It does, yeah. No, I think I'm really comfortable now. When winter comes, I'm sure that'll be a new experience for me, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, was there a moment when it was this is the place?
I think, honestly, just the first week of just living in the dorms, being with, I was with Layla Journey and Chit Chat every day. I was like, wow, I love it here.
Yeah, what's it been like getting to know the rest of the team with all the other newcomers?
Yeah, it's been great. I think already we're so close. I feel like these girls are my best friends, so I'm excited to be with them for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. You got more?
Yeah, I got one more. Okay. What do you kind of expect from the first couple weeks of the season?
Part of it.
So I'm pretty much going to play a little bit and then skip through.
You're
You know
a
what I'm
roommate,
saying?
in fact.
Yeah.
To now, still you guys are able to sustain the interest and the momentum on the fan base, and also from a recruiting standpoint.
Yeah.
How have you guys been able to do that as a program?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is to have just amazing fans that are loyal, and Iowa does have that. We have truly the best fans in the nation, and everywhere we go, we can prove that. We have fans that are in California or they're in New York, whatever it is. So Hawkeyes are everywhere. So that's one step. But on top of that, we just have an amazing culture, which isn't two-faced. It's real and genuine, and that's something I'm super grateful to be part of. But yeah, the culture is a huge aspect as well.
You don't see players necessarily leaving the portal from here out.
Yeah.
How is Jan able to maintain that, especially coming, she's a different person than us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like what I said, I think the culture is a huge aspect, and from my first year here to now, it's pretty much the same culture, and the girls that the coaches recruit are on top of that. It's to build the culture and to maintain what we have, so that's a huge part, and so I think that's why she's been able to maintain it, just because we have just great people, a great circle, it's a tight circle, and we're all here for each other.
You've been here for...
Yeah, thank you.
You've been here for...
Better, so...
Challenges and expectations of Iowa being a national brand and being, hey, this is a team that can be a contender?
Yeah, I think we all love them. I think it pushes us, it drives us in practice, and just having that extra chip is really good.
When you come off of last year, how does this team look at last year's maybe?
I definitely want to see Hannah Stokely in Indiana uniform with Caitlin.
We've got a lot of new girls since last year, so it's kind of rebuilding again, but with the leaders that we have, getting that experience last year, the in-between years was really good to teach us how things will go this year and how to really get into it. And yeah.
You mentioned leaders. You're now the the vet, the leader of the team. How do you kind of transform your role now as kind of like you're the leader of the Hawkeye team now?
Yeah, I think it's been a big change for me. Obviously, I have good days and bad days, as you do when you transition into things. So I think learning and growing in that area has been a lot of fun, and getting feedback from my teammates and all that stuff has been really good, fun.
Jen told us that you left Big Ten Media Days and you were saying, wow, that was fun, which I didn't think I'd ever hear Hannah Stuelke say about talking to the media. Or is she telling tales out of school? Did you actually say that was fun?
I don't remember saying that, but maybe I did. Maybe I was using a little sarcasm, but maybe I did say that.
I don't know if Jen picked up on that, actually.
I don't remember.
Well, I was asking her just about your development in that area because, I mean, you've been so great on the court as a freshman, but, you've always been pretty shy around the cameras. And so do you feel like you've stepped up in that way, either with the media or just on the team, being a more vocal leader as you've approached your senior year now?
Yeah, I think so. I've been more comfortable in front of the camera. Like right now, I don't feel nervous at all, which is good. But also, I know all of you guys, so that makes it a lot easier. But yeah, I think I've grown up a lot outside of basketball, and I think it translates onto the court and here as well.
What is it that goes into that? Because, I mean, obviously.
All right, so you got to hear Addie Deal, you got to hear Jensen, Hannah Stuelke, and others talk about their expectations and what they are looking forward to this year. I'm excited to see what our Hawkeyes do. I hope they make it to the Final Four and hopefully get to the championship. If this group of girls could get to the championship, and especially knowing that next year is going to be even pivotal because they are going to be young and they're going to be able to be, like Addie said, they're going to be with each other for 4 years to build on this. They're already going to have a leg up on some of the top programs. So shout out to them, and shout out to Jensen for keeping, really putting this program. Like I said, she gave Caitlin Clark a lot of props about putting this program on the map and everything. And now it's for them to maintain it. And the only way you can maintain it is by going out and win games, win a bunch of games, getting into the tournament, go deep into the tournament, because that's where these young ladies from high school, they junior, senior, they're going to be looking. They're going to be like, oh, this team get to the tournament every year. They get deep into the tournament. They get to the Final Four. I want to go to that program. I want to contribute. So that's what it is. So it seems like a pretty good media day for Iowa. So anyway, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe until you know what it is. It's the Iowa Sports Media.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire. It's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it. So official, like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire. Sports and entertainment. Let's go.